Oh, someone is missing. Mm, 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 mm. Greetings,
So,
Rest.
hello?
Hi, 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 hi.
Okay.
Hello, Resting.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. You?
I'm doing fine. I just had to pay somebody money to deplatform that race thing one. Can you imagine?
You paid somebody money?
Yeah. The guy was messing around with my account. I can't lie to you. Then TikTok, let me just read for you what he said. I don't know whether he's telling me the truth. Let me just read. What did he say he did? He said mm, he used my complete platform. He went and he created it. Uh, where did he write for me the explanation? Yes,
So,
I found out the reason why the person cloned you and TikTok didn't do anything is because he used an online link on your account and attached his account with yours,
this is crazy.
which is why TikTok declined your report appeal. Yes.
People do a lot of crazy stuff now that I don't really understand.
Yes.
Well,
Mhm.
I'll come to that, but let me say greetings, everybody. My name is Samson Onoja Itodo, and today, welcome to Afrobeats Germany. Today, we'll be discussing France, the enemy of Africa, and Afro diaspora. Yes, yeah. What we're intending to discuss today is talk about the relationship that France had or is having with black nations worldwide, from the Caribbean down to Africa here. What this relationship is. And so far, so good. We have seen that it has been an exploitative one. France is consistently exploiting black nations worldwide, starting from Haiti down now to um, the current stage. It has been a one-way trip. So that's what we're discussing today. And I hope you have fun. So let me start with Restink. Greetings, Restink.
Yeah, greetings, greetings.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very, very special guest here with me, Restink. She's a very, very special person on our panel here. She's been with us on TikTok. She's an educator. She's been giving us. I'll just let you experience what she's going to be putting out right now when we start. And she has been with us from TikTok to this place now, and her contributions are very, very valuable. You have to listen and learn. Okay, let's think. Yes, our dear Macron was slapped, and we are feeling somehow we're feeling excited about that because he's been very, very arrogantly insultive to African country as a whole. So what do you think about that?
Sorry. Um, well, as somebody who is coming from the intersectional side, I will not make great comments about the slapping that he received because I was involved in another discussions in which people were saying if we had turned the role of him, he done it to the woman, to his wife, that would have been, the world would have been set on fire. So but nonetheless, when I look at how arrogant Macron is, how uninformed he is on the history of the continent,
Mhm.
and even how he does not he comes, for to me as somebody who has not really updated his colonial mentality or decolonized his colonial mentality in terms of looking at Africa as not going to be the continuous purse of the West. So I'm one of those people that I really like what is currently happening in Africa, that Africa is rising. And I was also talking to some other person about the GDP of France, which right now is alarmingly below the Western standard. It has drastically dropped, and of course, the US is also seeing receiving the repercussions of the Sahel region closing their doors to them in totality. So, of course, now we know that uh, that for Africa has always been the reason why the West continues to be rich, and um, and Africa is the one that is going to be able to continue to sustain them. But this time we're going to be sitting down and doing negotiations on terms that we are going to dictate. The table we have created this time, and I'm really looking forward to other countries doing the same thing, that we extend this one long and broad table across the continent, in which they are going to be coming, and the terms of them even approaching us must also be defined differently from how they were dealing with our founding fathers and mothers of these countries. I think that the repercussions that they are experiencing now, I think that it's well deserved. And I still think that when I think of the number of years that we have gone through suffering and and being ridiculed, our children who are in their countries receive, highly traumatized, and them never telling the people what they're doing in Africa and how much they are taking or robbing the continent. I think this is a well-deserved development for the continent, and I think that more should be coming. I think we should pull the noose even tighter. That is my hope, that it is so tight until there is no room for breathing, and that corrections are going to be done in terms of, you're going to look at those reparations, you're going to look at correcting history, we're going to look at correcting policies and regulations, and this time not making it possible for them to just jump across the the streams and come in and dictate to us what type of laws and regulations we are supposed to do in our respective countries. So yes, I think that the wind has changed, and I'm so happy that France, one of the biggest, I want to call them the way they were, thieves, are now receiving the wrath of their doings. Before I land my plane, there is always a saying we have in Swahili. I'm just going to translate it, hoping that it doesn't get lost in translation. We have a Swahili saying. They say that siku za mwizi ni arobaini. The number the thief's days are numbered. There are 40 days. So the 40 days of France has reached.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. I want to say to those and listening from YouTube and Facebook, if you check the comment section, there's a link there. If you want to be part of this panel and contribute, just click on the link, and I'll see you in the studio. Then I can add you to the panel. Then you can and contribute to this discussion. So let me move right now to FMB. I'm trying to figure out who's FMB right now. So who is FMB? Please, can you introduce yourself? Can you hear me?
Good day. How y'all
We're
doing?
good. We're good. Good evening.
This is this is Mark.
Oh,
Mark.
Mark. Hello, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about
I'm
you?
very, very well. So our topic today:
All
France,
right.
the enemy of Africa, and Afro diaspora. What do you think about the relationship that France has had with every black nation? What's your perspective about that?
Well, based off experience, what we're living. So, um, as black nations, so we don't really see basically nothing that we could consider as a good relationship between France and any other black nations because to our perspective, so we could understood that these people just be around us just to take their advantage. They just looking for what they want, but they don't basically be around us just because they really able to help to give something that we really deserve, but they just be there to take and then make it feels like we can't live without them, we can't do this without them, we can't do that without them. So while they create certain strategies to play in our
Mm-hmm.
mind, play in our understanding, to make it feel like without them we are nothing. And we as black people, we take their time to learn their lesson and do exactly what they teach us, and make us feel comfortable with it, which is wrong. So those type of panels that we have right
Mm-hmm.
now, they are excellent to open our mind, to educate our own self a certain way, to avoid this type of manipulation, because these people, they are manipulator. They try to they manipulating us. It is not something that they doing that good for us. They dress it in a way to make us believe that they doing good, but in nothing they doing good for us. So this time, that's the time for all of African, Asian, whoever that under those type of discrimination or under this type of manipulations, to open our eyes, and then we just see a different ways to move on. That's all I could say for
Mark,
now.
you sound Asian.
Yes, I'm Asian.
Yes. I think that, the first evil that France did to any black nation started from Asia. Can you tell us a bit? Can you give us a brief? Can you take us that? Can you dive down a bit into the history of France and Asia? How Asia conquered France and then the Tarida. Can you just dive into that a bit? Can you tell us a bit about that?
But as you all know, that's a very long story. And according to the studies, so you all know that Asian was fighting against those uh, uh, um, monopolist people, and they conquered the fight. And then, as you all know, in resume, where French, had to put a charge over Haiti, to know his independency. And up to now, certain people keep requesting for these unconsiderable charge that they put in Haiti for their own fight, for their own gain. So up to now, French doesn't like feel comfortable to say that's normal. So that's one of the reason, as a black nations, we could never and ever agree to saying that these people is our friend. So they be there for us, they do this that for us. The best thing French could do for Asian people actually is just like to refund those money. That's the best thing they could do. So because that's abusive. So, and that leader we had that time, I don't know if it's a type of weakness, or I don't know what it was that time. But if somebody like opened their eyes to say that was abusive, of course he was abusive. So if they could do the best thing to show us love, to show us the interest in us, they would wake up to say, right now, 80 facing some difficult time. So this money we took from them, it was unfair. Let us return it for something good. So in resume, in a short, part of stories. So that's what I could say for now.
All right, all right. Welcome. Can I say hello to Just Me? Just Me, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. And yourself?
I'm very, very well.
Oh,
Today our topic is France, the enemy of Africa and Afro diaspora. So, what do you think? What's your perspective of that? What do you think about France when you think about France and the relationship they have had with Africa, with Black nations? What's your perspective?
my perspective is quite simple. It's a parasitic relationship. France gives very little to the colonies and diaspora and to the countries in Africa which they extract so much from. Um, Haiti is particularly different because of the animals between the two. And how dare Haiti defend themselves?
Just a
How
minute. Sam, there is somebody who wants to come in. I don't know whether they can let them in.
Yeah, I've let that in.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
It's all right.
that's fine. It's okay. Yes. So how dare Haiti defend themselves? And they paid dearly for it. They're still paying to this day. And for me, having to pay to stay alive, that was a crime against humanity. That was a crime that the Napoleonic army surrounded the entire Bay of Haiti and threatened to kill everybody on the island unless they pay them. That's a crime. That money needs to be returned. That is a crime. And furthermore, another crime that was committed in the 60s, I believe, I could be wrong, I'm subject to correction here, is that when the US went and took all the gold, the remaining gold from the island, and there's Wall Street, that's another crime. That needs also to be repaid. So for me, France and America, they definitely need to pay. It's just not just France, it's America as well. And what America has continued to do with the sanctions and the president, I can't remember, I haven't seen him over again. With what's the Clintons, what they continue to do to Haiti, and it's just mind boggling. And the thing about it, is we here in the Caribbean, and throughout the whole diaspora, we and part of CARICOM. Haiti is part of CARICOM, and we have been agitating for help for Haiti. But our prime ministers are Western puppets as well. Our leaders are Western puppets that that answer to America. We have such a close relation to America that we've pegged our dollar to the American dollar. That's where America fall, we fall too. So the consensus in the Caribbean is that if America catches a cold, we all get sick. So it's crazy. And we have Pan Africanists here in the region who've been agitating for Haiti to be treated better, for us to send troops to Haiti to help protect Haiti. And so far, none of our governments has done nothing. We do have quite well trained and armed military here. They're small, but they can fight against people like barbecue. They can go even in numbers. And the thing is, whenever Caribbean nations fight for something, we fight with the US. So if the US is not fighting, we tend not to go, like what happened in Grenada with the coup in Grenada when Morris Bishop was toppled. The Caribbean countries fought with the US to topple Morris Bishop. So it is a strange relationship in the region with our colonizers, France and America. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's really crazy how France has been the worst colonial. Let me say colonials. What would I put that? I don't want to call them masters. A colonial terrorists to
Yes, that's a good term.
African countries and the black nations everywhere, both in the Caribbean. It's been really crazy. Let me go to Nairobi Food. Are you there?
Yeah, good evening. I'm here.
Good evening. Yes. Our topic today is France, the enemy of Africa and Afro diaspora. We can see what is happening in Africa, in Africa right now with France, whereby France is being chased out of most African nations. They has been asked to pack up and go. And we see the tantrum they've been throwing everywhere. What's your perspective on this? What do you think about this?
From my point of view, I think it's a great thing that Africa is waking up at last. Not only for I don't want to use the word francophones, or anglophones, but not only for all the the former colonized countries, but all of us should wake up and work together, because the challenge we're still facing in Africa is that we still have the puppets who are really they are literally sweeping off the carpet off our feet. So I think what somebody like the Captain Traore has already put up an example is like the rest of Africa should, or the rest of the the African diaspora should take it up and just unite, and we be independent, because I still get irritated that due to our former colonizers, we are still importing things from them. Things like Africa is rich in agriculture, it's rich in resources. I do not understand why we are being put in this position to import things from other countries where we can produce it ourselves. But as long as we continue depending or having these puppets ruling us, we cannot achieve these goals of being self-sufficient without relying on our former colonizers. On the other side, okay, they're still colonizing us. I can't even say they're former colonizers. They're still colonizing us. They're still parasitic. They're still taking away our resources, and we are letting them do that. You know.
Do you think we are letting them do that, or they are imposing themselves because probably because they have military-wise they are still more ahead of us?
I believe the countries belong to the people, and we, the people, should mobilize that. As much as they impose themselves on us, we should keep fighting. I know there's a lot of blood to be lost, there's a lot of lives to be lost, but the voice of the people has to be heard. Unity is the main thing, because like now, Captain Traore is being attacked from left, right, center, but we shouldn't give up. We should not let his cause go to nothing. We should fight for it. We should do something about it. The whole of Africa, we should do something. Yeah, it cannot be like a country like Cameroon. This is a rich country, but nobody has put it out there that Cameroonians amongst themselves, they're fighting. Do you guys know that there is war in Cameroon going on right now amongst themselves? You see, Congo is another story. I can't even continue with the list. The more I continue with the list, the more I get so frustrated and angry about this kind of things. And it's up to us to unite and say no, and not sell out people. Yeah. So it's unfortunate, like my country, Kenya, I come from Kenya. It's unfortunate that Kenya now we are hosting these people in, like Langley is now in Kenya. What is he doing in Kenya? You know? That is where we are failing our people who are standing up for our own people.
It's really crazy. It's really crazy.
Yes. Yes.
Resting. Now, what do you think? What does the French? Because I keep asking myself, what does France has on America that America always jumps around to do the dirty work for France? Like right now, Michael Langley is in Africa. Is it not crazy?
I don't know, but let me just try and naively say that I think there are contracts that were made. First of all, I've always said, and I think I've always said it in this platform, that I think that the Berlin Conference or the Congo Conference Association or company, it was never dissolved. It still exists. So I want to think that France, you know, that if we look at the EU and the transatlantic or the Pacific, it was called the Pacific Agreement at the time when Donald Trump was pulling out. I have a feeling that the things that was that France went and said, you guys, I can supply you all with uranium. Let me just take uranium now as an example. Yeah, I can be your supplier of uranium at this price for so many years. So you must also remember that if you do not fulfill a certain part of this agreement, there are also penalties to be taken into consideration. I think that is why France is hopping around like some popcorn in hot oil. So the question of why is America involved is the American industries are obviously going to be affected because the chain supply of the uranium, my choice of mineral resources, is not being fulfilled. Hence, there are companies also in the country, in the US, that are also going to be suffering as a result of lack of reliable supply of these things. So America being the stronger power, the one that has much more capacity and to put pressure in terms of even security, when we look at the security that America has,
Mm.
uh, I mean, I have a feeling that that Europe also wants to reckon with it. And so what happens is that going to America is number one, I think, to negotiate, by the fact that they needed to talk about this default, I mean, the problem with the supply, but also to see what can America do, given that America was one of the people that they negotiated to have military bases in France. No, in what is it called? In the, let me just say, the Sahel region. But now
Mm.
France has been removed. So can you America, since you still have one or two of those militaries, can you please be our big brother in the area? I don't know, but I want to think that there's a connection between those things. Maybe somebody else has got a better idea.
And Mark, I want to come to you. Um, right now, who is in control of Haiti, America or France?
Both of them. Both of them.
Both of them, as in both of them are having taken share. They're taking their turns in doing what? How is this arrangement going? Are they working with the because I hear there's some different type of militia groups now in taking over the country.
They they are intermediate. I mean, they're using embassy as intermediate to, I mean, to manipulate the whatever they want to do. They use embassy.
The
So I
embassy
mean, actually, there are some
is a militia
troops.
group, is a militia leader or militia group.
Actually, I heard about some forces go down there, but I don't really get the details about, I mean, who they are, where they're coming from. But I heard some forces coming from where again? So they pick different nations from different part of the Caribbean, and then they put them together and send them down there. But I don't really get details profound on who they are, where they really coming from right now.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Comment section. Okay.
uh,
So you know what's sad about this? You know what's sad about this? So those politicians, they they pretend that they need other forces to come on the land to fight against whatsoever. But when their mission completed, they get these people on the land, the situation getting worse and worse. What that mean? What that's supposed to be mean? So if you say you bring corporations or the nations to help out, so now these people come in, already signed big type of budget, a lot of money for them to fulfill the contract that they signed. And then when these people reach, it just like nothing happened. The gangs, this gangster get more guns. I mean, more guns, more munitions. They stronger. They fight harder. So what that's supposed to be means?
crazy.
You could see that's a serious manipulation. You come for a mission, do your mission, and get the job done. Gone.
And let me go to just me. Um, Do you see? Oh, okay, resting. Just me. Do you see any difference with what is happening? The way France is behaving in Africa to the way it's behaving in Haiti? Do you see any difference?
There's basically no difference. It is the same playbook. Extract as many resources as you can, destabilize the region, destabilize the people, keep the people in poverty, keep the people struggling, keep the people fighting among themselves. Same playbook, same thing. And the thing about these colonial powers, they collude with each other. So and they back each other up, and they do it even on the interpersonal level. When you see them by themselves in a little clique, they support their own people. It is an exercise. It is a lesson in unity that we must learn. These people have each other's back so deep. Their people can do no wrong because they know that together they are stronger and they are fighting for their own survival. We need to copy. I keep telling my people all the time, learn the good things from the white people, not the bad things. And that is one of the things that the white people do very well. The unity that they have, they can come together in the snap of a finger and destroy you. We need to be able to do that too. And when we talk about the military might of France, it is what is keeping them in power. Because if France military comes into a region and they are not able to quell whatever resistance, whatever revolution that is going on, they can call for backup from America, from Germany, from whoever has a ready army waiting, they can call for backup and it will be there within hours. We, on the other hand, we don't have that. To mobilize our people takes a longer time. And then we have to go through all the bureaucracy of this leader, that leader, and the third leader. And, it's strange. My daughter asked me a question last night.
Mm.
She said, oh, let's talk about Kwame and Kuma and this thing and that thing. She said this one question that she may want to ask. I tell her, well, you come on the forum and you ask this question yourself. She wants to know why when Patrice Lumumba was being murdered and taken out, why no other African country came to their assistance. So I'm just going to leave that there. So as an example, that we need to be able to call on our people at any time and expect them to be there to back us up. Now, there's a revolutionary body in America that is being squashed at this moment. It's called the NFAC,
Mm.
and I know you know about it. You're gonna have to know about it.
Mm.
The leader, he is the first black militia, that armed black militia of its kind in America. The leader is locked up at the moment for no reason. Trump took charges, and when I started following him and listening to his podcast and his lives, he's very revolutionary, very about his business, and he said something that stuck with me. To me, it is the most modern revolutionary statement that was ever made. I think he said it in 2021 or 22. He said that he knows because he wear his bulletproof vest and he know they're coming to kill him. He knew that they were coming to kill him because that's what they do. He's ready. He said, I'm ready. But he says he knows that when he's dead and he goes to stand before Yah, he is going to say, Yah, I'm early. I know you wasn't looking for me to be here so soon, but I'm early. But guess what? Excuse my language, this is what he said. Guess what? About 30 or 40 motherfuckers with me. That statement was the most revolutionary, modern revolutionary statement that I've ever heard.
Crazy.
You understand that
Yes,
that
yes.
person, he could have that mentality in this day to know that we in America, they are the minority. So the people in America believe that if there's a race war, they will win. But if you have a mentality like that gentleman, can they win? So that's what I'm saying. Unity.
You see, the crazy thing is, France and the West were able to go get away with all whatever they did to the black race in the past is because they were totally in control of the media. But now, thank God to social media that we are able to do what we are doing now, and you can see the reaction because now we are able to investigate and then find out facts quickly so that we can create our own perspective of issues. So then we are able to inform each other. Like what we do on
That's
our team,
it.
when there's something happen, we all come together and then try to dissect and see the truth about this. But before we had only one channel. It was whatever the West fits us. That's what we believe. And then when we believe, when they start feed us with lies and they start dealing with taking out, killing all the Pan-African leaders that we had before, we couldn't react because we believed them. But at this point in time, you can see the reaction that they are getting back. Even Michael Langley, that is in Africa right now, the reaction that they are getting is for the first time, they are surprised to have been getting this kind of pushback. Anyway, let me move to Rising. Rising Star. Hello, Rising Star. Greetings.
Greetings, greetings, freedom fighters.
How are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Yes, today we are dealing with the topic France, the enemy of African Afro diaspora. Every country that France colonized, when they are leaving, if they don't agree to the terms of them continuing to exploit those countries, they made sure they did everything they can to impoverish that country. They destroy when they are leaving. Sometimes when they were leaving Guinea, where Sekou Touré said he was not going to sign that colonial pact with them, they destroyed everything. They packed everything. Even they took their hash ray with them. They took everything and left the economy impoverished. So that's why we are
Yep.
picking this topic today. What's your perspective of France? What's your view?
France has been a very, very evil colonial power. They've never released their stranglehold on Africa. So even after the countries gained independence, those countries had to pay reparations to France of what is now, when you convert it now in our currency, what amounts to billions and trillions in order to gain independence. And then when you look at even the economy, how they control the economy of every country, even after independence. Um, and literally, there's no region where France has occupied that shown any evidence of that they were, you know, they doing well and life is good. There's no evidence. And France is
You can see
another
how
major. France is a major player in DRC. What is currently happening in DRC is also a major player in that.
and let's not forget Haiti, whereby they started, that they started with. Haiti was their first victim.
Yes, they started with Haiti. And the thing, it wasn't just like with Haiti, even the American government robbed them and hasn't paid back up till today. So with
It's a shame.
Haiti,
It's a shame more that.
it's like they really, Haiti is in the state it is today because of the minerals that it has, and that's crazy.
And then the colonial tax they put on them when they were after Haiti defeated them. You know,
Yeah,
it's
they've
a shame
really
anyway. It's a
like
shame.
they've really caused Haitians to really be the real extreme. They are the poorest people in the West, the Haitians. And
It's
what
a,
is going on in Haiti today is so bad.
it's
It's not good
crazy.
at
It's crazy.
all.
Um, and that's why I was excited because in the last times we have seen how Emmanuel Macron has behaved when the African nations have told them to go away. We can see his arrogance. We can see his reactions. We see the way he's been throwing tantrum. That was why I was a bit excited when his wife slapped him publicly,
The way
and they're
I
trying to dress
laughed,
that against
Sam, I watched that video, I think, guys. I laughed. I laughed. I said, yo, life is the sweetest taboo. I tell you, it was so wonderful. She should have slapped him and booted him. It was just a complete
Crazy.
shambles and an embarrassment for him. And actually, it really manipulation of power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The guy even was waiting for her to put his hand in his hand. He was walking. He's got his sore hand.
And let's not forget that that was her teacher, his teacher
It was wonderful.
when it was
Like
when it was 15 years. They started dating when it was 15 years. So that has been his teacher. Crazy.
she's an
So
abuser, that woman. She's a
FSMB,
pedophile, and her son is even older than Macron.
that's what I'm saying. Imagine, let's reverse the role now. So imagine the
What
woman
did you
is
say?
Macron and Macron is the woman. The world will be going crazy by now, isn't it?
Yes, that's quite true. Yep.
Imagine imagine
Yeah.
if it is a man that is dating a girl from 15 years, a teacher, if it's a male teacher that did that, what would the world be saying to today? You see, the Western world has been quiet because they are not talking much about this. They have not called the woman a pedophile.
Because the Western world cherry picks its morals, you see. Depends on who is happening to or who is the perpetrator.
And Mark, what do you think? The Western world has been quiet about, except the Prime Minister of Italy, who is a right-wing
Yeah,
politician.
but one thing that people don't realize is there's a lot of
Rising, you're
sexual
breaking.
perversion in France, huh?
You say what?
Yeah.
You're breaking, Rising.
France is a very perverted society sexually, yeah.
Crazy. And Mark, how do you feel when the West is so quiet about everything that France is doing except the Italian Prime Minister? Mark, are you there?
Can you
Say it again. I was away from my laptop.
Yeah, what I'm saying is,
Can
how
you
do
hear
you
me?
feel? We can hear you now, Rising.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's my network.
You're
It's
not,
been bad all.
your network is fluctuating. I can see it from here. So, Mark, what do you feel about
I think it's my network.
the European countries keeping mute about the way France has been dealing with African country?
So, like they always say, your enemy, your friend of your enemy is your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So, probably their relationship, could be seen as closest than Haiti. So, or probably they don't want to be interrupt at something that is not regard them. And one thing too we have to pay attention actually is
Yeah, my network. Sorry.
basic, basically nobody would be seriously come to help you without you be able to help yourself. So Haiti reaching a point where actually ain't nobody stand for Haiti. Okay, let's say for like I mean Ibrahim. Ibrahim stand, and when others see value in Ibrahim, they invest in Ibrahim. So actually, we don't really have someone like that in Haiti. So imagine now you have you have a country leading by a group of presidents. So you don't see something red, something is animal. A group of people sit down, sit down and call themselves president.
Mm.
And other country back up that idea and they take it from them. So this period of time, this one say, okay, let me spend 1 year or couple months on the power, and you shift it, take it to Samsung. Samsung, I mean, and manage the power for a period of time, pass it to Mac, from Mac to this to that. So you could see these people, they in deep manipulation. Actually now, so if somebody, even somebody would think like, okay, these people need assistance. With who? Who you gonna use to give
Mm.
assistance? Those people sit down there, call themselves president? No. Nobody gonna just trust them to say, okay, let me push them, let me help them. Because Haiti actually is not in position that even somebody willing to say, okay, let me put my hand and grab these people to do better. They won't take that chance, because the person that you're gonna put hand to could be your enemy, because they installed there by our enemy.
Mm.
That's my understanding. So actually, that's the reason me, I don't really know much. That's the reason I keep looking, I keep learning, because I want to have an open mind on what's going on, and then for me to see my approach. Because actually, Haiti in a point where I could see that the situation is intolerable. So nobody like would be comfortable to saying that the way Haitian going on right now, uh, we could see it in a good eye. So
And every
actually,
problem that Haiti had today started from France, isn't it? After during that colonization, the colonial
of
tax and
course,
everything
of
that
course,
they have imposed on Haiti is what's the reason why Haiti is where it is today, isn't it?
that's what it is. The enemy come, I mean, start from France, and then American put their hands as a manipulator as they exploit the land. So we get two big weight upon us. France started because of colonization, and American come up to just use the land because they get resources that interesting them. So, and that's the reason you could see so much going on actually, because the country is right now, the better it is for them, because everybody close their eyes on everything they doing on the land, because they keep fighting. People keep fighting. There's no government that could say, hold up, it can't be like that, because like they be there placed by who want to exploit the country. They placed by them same people. So actually, it won't be it won't be something where you're gonna wake up to say, uh this is this person responsible for this, this is that person responsible for that, from close eye. You have to stand from distance and watch it
Mm.
to see what's going on. So the real enemy is French, and the real enemy is American. Pretend to be friends.
Mm.
Pretend to be friends.
Just me, do you see France surviving without the attachment to to Africa, to black people all over the world?
Impossible. They cannot. That's why I believe he's planning something, and he's having secret talks with his allies because they can't survive without Africa. There's France has nothing other than pretty buildings, really nice pretty buildings. Yeah, that's it, and that's it. So they can't. They literally cannot. So and as a matter of fact, all the gold reserves that they have already,
Mm.
they that's expendable.
To all the black nations, all their colonies, they
Yes,
have nothing.
yeah, So they literally can't survive. They can't pay back Haiti. Because if they pay back Haiti, they'll be forced to use some of that reserves, and they're not going to do that. If there's one thing that I am certain of, and what I've observed with colonizers, if they have a stranglehold, it's very hard for them to let go. They never let go. They try every dirty trick in the book, and Haiti has suffered. They've unalived one or two of their leaders already. Haiti has suffered in recent time, and that is the playbook. And that is the playbook. Like the gentleman was saying before, there's no structure, there's no government, there's nobody that you can say that you can back. If we have throughout the Caribbean, we have a person that in Haiti that we can put our resources behind, send some troops to rally with this person, and then because we are so small, our losses will be so high. You see, so the thing is that how do we risk it without having somebody that we can trust there in Haiti that to do things that we know that it can be done for Haiti. So France is not going to survive, and France is not going to let go. It will be forced. It has to be forced to let go, and that's the only reason that they will let go. And by that saying, it has to be true military. It has to be. There's no other way.
Rising Star, are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Rising Star? Okay, I think that she's still going through her internet something. Just me. Do you think there will come to a point where France will want to resort to military, to using force to keep its former colonies in line?
Yes, yes. I think that is imminent, and I think we have to be prepared for it. We have to be prepared for it. And the modern day revolutionary now is prepared to kill for his country rather than die.
No, we're not going to. No, 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 that's the new. That's the new revolution. We're not going to.
Yeah,
Black people are not going to die for their country, but kill for their country now.
that's right. That's right. So we've got a fight ahead of us, and throughout the whole diaspora in Africa, I'm seeing this wave of change, this anger. People, the Americans are calling it black fatigue, but I call it racial rage. I call it racial rage, and I have kept mine. I've kept mine from my time in Europe. I have kept mine, and for me, we are going to need that racial rage to fight this fight. We are going to need to be angry and frustrated and had enough in order to take this fight to the enemy.
I think the black race has had enough of France and
Yes,
colonialism.
yes, indeed, indeed. So there is a fight ahead because France is not going to let go because one thing about Europeans, they love the trappings of their comfort. They
Mm-hmm.
love that. They're not going to let that up. And really and truly, for them to fall to the state where they have to actually be on the market and forced to migrate and have to work, and their people, white people can't withstand that. The ego alone will be destroyed. So you might find yourself now, because we already consider them to be mentally deranged. So
Mm-hmm.
something that would take them over the edge. So I expect a fight. I expect a fight. But the thing is, they are looking to win. They will not win because we are fighting for the very soul of Africa, the very soul of our people, and we are not going to lose.
Yes, we are fighting for everything.
Yes,
Um, Mark, we see Ibrahim Traore making alliances with Russia and China and the East. Is making alliances with the Eastern countries right now. Do you think that might differ? That might create a balance whereby France is not able to come militarily?
Of course, yes. Of course. So that's the best. That's the best way. That's the best way. But probably it could be. I mean, other ways. But the way going right now, to my understanding, that's the best way to keep these people away. Because when once he started to make his alliance the way going, so that's a way to show the enemy step back
Mm.
because there's no place for you because we keep being friends with your enemy, with people that don't like you. So now, what is your place? You ain't get no place in our lives because we keep friends with your enemy.
But just me, do you think that alliance will stop France if they go broke and hungry? Do you think they'll be patient or they'll go all out for a war?
The only thing, the only thing to me, the flashback I just have just now is he has to be careful because these people they using their brain when it comes to manipulations. He have to make sure these alliance that he making is not. I mean, they don't, the enemy don't use influence to pass through them
Mm.
because remember, everybody is somebody. So I might not be able to convince you on something, but I convince your friend. So that's the only part you really, really have to be careful with. So now those friends that you're building up, you have to build them just very, very strategically. Because your enemy could be, your friends could be your enemy. And these people know how to do that. They really know.
Just me, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Now
Um,
listen. Now
mhm.
we have the whole black race in one accord now, united in their voice in saying no to the Western way of dealing with us. Do you think they are worried? Do you think they are more worried now that we are on this alliance that would deter them from trying to attack militarily? Because we have stood together and said, no, it's not going to happen. Because they should be worried about fighting on different fronts, fighting in Africa and then fighting in the Caribbean. Don't you think it would be too much for them?
I think they're contemplating. Yes, they're thinking about it. But if you realize what's at stake, their very life is at stake because they can't survive without Africa and
Mm.
for the mineral resources. Their very life, the way of life is at stake. They will become desperate and they will attack. Yes, because if you have if you've been fed your whole entire life and you've no facing starvation, and you will fight tooth and nail to for your life, won't you? You will fight tooth and nail for your life. So I expect that they will do the same thing, but they just haven't been pushed into the corner as yet because there's still Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, there's still Senegal and their other colonies and some of their pockets that's still there. So
Mm.
if they lose those, they will become very desperate because now the end will be definitely in sight. So I
But,
would expect then
but do you think they will attack without any concrete reason?
before any
Without
concrete
any
reason.
Yes. Do you
y-
think without they will attack without no provocation, they'll just attack because they feel they have to survive?
Yes, I believe that because think about how they came in the first place.
Mm.
When they came without provocation. The Moors did them nothing. In fact, the Moors did them good, and they came without provocation. They came and they were very brutal. So now, and they
But
were
this is
fighting.
a different era. Don't you think this is a different era? We have a different era now.
But yet, it's a different era. But human nature is still the same.
Hmm.
Human nature still remains the same. The key is survival. You see, the key. Don't care if it's is it the 18th, the 16th, 15th century to 2025, the 21st century. No, the issue is the same: survival. Just now, but the difference would be is tactics. The difference would be tactics, would be technology.
Hmm.
So for me, the thing is that we've been underdeveloped for so long that they're milestones ahead of us. So we have to be prepared. And we're having discussion the whole week.
But I'm thinking, even when they are desperate, they will be. Don't you think they will be worried about the alliance? Now we have alliance with Russia and China. That, for example, Ibrahim Traore have gone ahead and signed a pact with them. Understand?
Yes,
Don't you think that will deter them from coming all out for military?
they would uh, contemplate. They would think twice. But at the end of the day, you know,
Their
I
survival
must,
instinct, their survival instinct will overpower them.
yes, and Russia are white men. Russians are white men. So so can we say that when things come down to the bitter end, to the nitty and gritty, if they will be truly with us, and can China is also a white man. If you non-recessive, or both of them non-recessive. So at the end of the day, we cannot rely so heavily on our allies and thinking with the thinking that they will have our back right to the end, because things change, alliances change, treaties are made, treaties are broken.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm prepared for anything. That's how I go about it. I'm prepared because I always think of a strategy for another strategy. I'm always thinking ahead. So yes, I expect some sort of intervention, not just now, but I'm thinking that they're planning and they're talking to their allies and so forth. But Russia Russia has some skin in the game because of the position that they're in. So if that position changes at all, if people get behind closed doors and talk, have a conversation, Russia might very well leave Abraham Traore in the dust. You get what I'm saying? We have to keep that in our mind, that 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 alliances will change. You see what I mean?
Yes, and truly, we have seen Russian take out some people, and we have seen the West take out. Like for example, it happened in Syria, right? It happened with Gaddafi. Those are people that that has kind of an alliance with Russia, and the West were still able to take them out. So
Yes.
can we still put our trust in Russia fully? That's a question, truly.
Thank you. And China, because at the end of the day, on the ground, when you go to Russia, you still face racism. Our brothers and sisters are being treated horribly in Russia. Our sisters are being trafficked all through Russia and treated and murdered. Yeah, in China, as much as an ally China is, China
Mm,
just wants access to resources and some place for their massive population to go. And they've earmarked Africa, because Africa have loads of land. So and those are people too. When you go to their country, you see how they feel about you.
mm,
So I would never trust a non-recessive. Yes, we would have a pact or a treaty, and we work together till we achieve our goal. But you go your separate way, and I would go mine. I would never fully trust them. That's just my take on it, because this is what history has told me. This is what history has taught me. You see, and if you forget your history, you are deemed to repeat it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mark, I want to ask Mark a question. We have Africa is a part of the international bodies like the United Nations and other um, bodies that were created to create a balance in the world. Do you think if Africa become totally autonomous, that black nations around the world become totally autonomous and they are in control of their own country? Do you think these bodies will be able to be able to still keep the peace and deter France and the West from attacking militarily?
Before I relate on that, I mean, thinking about the previous question you asked
Mm,
earlier. So um if according to what you're saying about if France would be hungry if Ibrahim keep continue his alliance with
Russia.
other countries. So with Russia. So it came to my mind to saying that it shows us completely that he would be hungry because according to his action, to his observation, to how he feels, to those movements that going on, that feel like, man, if I let these people go, I gonna hungry. That's what it make
Mm-hmm.
us feel because, like, okay, if a country, if a country or leader saying like, okay, let me move on with my country, so I could take my own responsibility. So if you have nothing to do with these people, why you say, okay,
Good.
fine, man, go ahead, do your thing. Good, go. So now we worry for. If you worry, meaning that you're gonna
Yes.
be hungry. So that's the reason too. We all have to be careful on any decision we will take, because at the end of the day, the way we feel these people are hungry, they ain't gonna let go.
It's
So
clear
they would
already. It's
use
quite
any
clear.
type of they would use any type of strategy to take you down. Any type of strategy, because they don't want to let go. If they was ready to let go, you would feed in that energy we will feel. We won't have that energy. We won't see that energy from them. Because when somebody don't need
Mm.
somebody, you could see they don't need them. So if your women leave you, you keep crying, you keep complaining because you love your woman. If you don't love the woman, you will say, okay, well, I was tired already.
I
Let
think
her
they're
go.
crying
Move
because the
on. I'm
relationship
gonna
has
get
been
somebody
one
else.
way, beneficiary
Yeah,
one way.
of course. So um, still, we have to open our mind to make sure we see things, I mean, in a far ways that they are going on right now. We have to see over behind. Because these people, when you think they sleep, they ain't sleep. When you think they stop thinking, they ain't stop thinking. Because what they used to take from you or what they taken in from you, they won't stop it. Because remember, you have a resource. They come take it for them to survive or take them to survive. So without the resources, those type of money they used to make, those type of explore they used to do, they won't be able to do it
Mm.
anymore. Because you have natural resources that they don't have. So close eye on you, forget it. They ain't gonna close eye on Africa. Never. So let's go back to the other topic that you mentioned earlier. You say it
I
again?
was saying the international bodies that African countries or the Black world are in a member of, like United Nations, Amnesty International, all this international body that is meant that was created to keep a balance and peace in the world. What would be their part? Do you think they'll be able to keep the peace when Africa takes control of the black
I, I
countries of the
I
world
don't know
take
if it's
control of
sorry,
their
sorry, sorry.
resources?
Excuse me. I don't know if it's from my side. You was breaking up earlier. Go ahead again.
What I'm saying is, I said the international bodies like the United Nations and other bodies that Africa is a member of, that was created to create a balance and keep the world peace. Do you think when Africa take controls of its resources and its countries, Africa becomes autonomous without Western interference, and it start weighing down on the Western economy, like people like France start going broke? Do you think that these bodies will be able to to keep the peace then, or do you think France will say bullshit these bodies and attack?
Um, well, depends. Depends. Because you're gonna have to consider the power of the alliance.
Mm,
Because I don't think they're stupid enough if a country build a strong relationship with the other country that's stronger than him, and
mm,
you as another part that would just face a stronger enemy. So it would be depends, because before they even think about what you're just saying now, they would
mm,
just evaluate to see if we could make that approach, if we ain't gonna lose, if we ain't gonna be power.
mm,
Because now what they would consider, they might saying that too, oh, we already grabbed a good amount, we already have something to survive, let us control it, let us keep it, instead of just go to a war where we're gonna lose more. So they might see it that way too. but Africa have to stand strong and stronger every day, and not surely depending on those alliance, but
Mm,
stronger itself. Because if any reason, if any way that what you're just saying just now for France to attack, don't think they're gonna just pull weapons like that. They're gonna
mm,
use strategy. They're gonna use mindset. They're gonna use watch brain.
mhm,
So they're gonna sneak it to come in, because there. I mean, what's going on right now is not something that would be easily going by force. Because anybody just trying to take it by force right now, you might be lose. And I believe they're smart enough to don't make any force approachment right now. They're smart enough. That's the reason you will see some certain people start criticizing Ibrahim. They start saying some things about them, and even when they open their mouth, they start getting some answers that funny. So the way they used to influence others by brainwash, they cannot do it the same way. Because people's eyes open, so the social media are going crazy.
mm.
um People like me, for my age, we never see nothing better from time we born. So we ain't gonna take anything from nobody right now, because
If I may just jump in and add one thing to what he is saying, to what Mark is saying, you know, they they have to have the resources because for their survival. And we have to bear in mind, I always keep saying, we have to think about every kind of strategy that may be employed against us. Now, say, for instance, they're backed into a corner and there's nowhere to go other than fight. These people, these melanin recessive people, have destroyed the world. They are in the process of destroying the world. We are in the red zone where global heat, global warming is
Mm,
an issue that may never return. We may never go back to where we were before. These
mm,
people are capable of destroying the world. And for me, I have to also look at the possibility is that they can't have it, they will destroy it. And then everybody's at zero. You understand? So then everybody has to fight to come back from zero. These people are capable of doing that. They're capable of nuking the continent. And if they decide, well, look, you can't have it, I can't have it, you can't have it either. Let's all start from scratch. Let's all start a nuclear holocaust. Everybody start from zero and scratch and build our way up. They're capable of doing it because they have the mindset to do that. We as Africans, we don't have that mindset to destroy Earth, but
Do you,
they
do,
do.
do you see any way that we Africans can outsmart these people
Yes, it's not a question. That is not a question. We are the most powerful being on the earth. We just need to tap into each other, to link with each other, so that we become one force, one cosmic force, sending light and energy into the universe that we cannot be denied. That's all. We have it. And I believe in my people because I see so much power in us. I see so much resistance in us. I see so much resilience in us. When this, like I always say about the African resilience, the African strength. When I was in Europe and I see the brothers and sisters being treated in the worst way possible, me, I was like, I'd be like in tears. And the sisters would say to me, I must get my money. I must get my money. And I'm like, how do you get, where is this strength? Where is this strength? How do you get this strength? Some of the African sisters are the strongest people that I've ever met. We can do this. I have no doubt in my mind. After this, I have no doubt in my mind. We just need to come together. We need to strategize. We need to plan, and we need to link into each other and form one cosmic force and go forward. Because these people have nothing on us other than cruelty, terrorism, and destruction. They have nothing else. They've never outloved us. They never outthink us. They use all of our inventions to further their causes, their race, their societies. They use us. They use all of our brain power, all of our people, all in Europe, building Europe. No, what is that? If there's a sudden fucking of all that, what happened to Europe? What happened to America? We can't do this, but we just need to be together. We just need to come together.
But I think for the black man to free itself from this whole Western domination, first of all, we must free ourselves from mental slavery, re-educate ourselves. That mental slavery is our first issue. That area that they have affected us to start thinking that they are superior than us is a problem already. We must rebuild the mind of every black man to make them understand that
Yes, yes,
that
and our education system is has failed us because we've got a group of young people who are highly educated but has no fight in them,
yes, because
no revolutionary spirit.
those kind of education is if you go check our education, our history during in our high school days, this history really glorifies colonization one way or the other. Instead
Yes,
of
yes,
how you tell us that this Mongo Park discovered this and this person discovered this and they met people there. There's a lot of education that we have fed there that was just nonsense.
absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. You know, when I was doing history in high school, I like learning, so I like learning in the books and stuff. And all through the history books, these fabulous illustrations of white men and dressed up in lovely clothes as slaves in the field, and it never sat well with my soul. That my history is slaves, and I was like, you know, and I
Absolute nonsense. You know,
absolute yes, absolute nonsense. That's what we were school fed as children in the classroom by black teachers. By black teachers. I must add by black teachers. So it's the education, and then we have to speak to our youth. We have to speak to our people. In my home, I have raised two strong, dark skinned black children that can defend themselves. And I had made it I made it my business to make sure that they can defend themselves physically and mentally, so that if anybody comes with anything right on point, they dismiss, dismiss, dismiss. So we have to start in the home, building these, inspiring these revolutionary minds from inside the home, and let them know who they truly are. I've told my daughter's dark skin. I've told her how many times how beautiful she is, but she has to know it. She has to hear it from me, and that is part of undoing some of the mass hypnosis and the brainwashing that we are inferior.
Mm. It's really crazy the way they have been able to hold us down for that long. But thank God for the social media and the internet that we are able now to
Yes, yes,
a lot of information and facts. Because sometimes
And,
I keep
and
imagining a small country like France, but then if you look at it, they have these alliances, the NATO alliances, and the Americans that are backing them up. If not so, what can France do to African nations if they come together? They don't have the numbers to fight that fight.
no, they don't. They don't. Just Nigeria alone, 200 million. Come on.
listen, listen. Even that same social media that's saving
Mm.
us, um, they deeply have a serious eye on it against us too.
Yes, it's a two-edged
So
sword, but it depends on how we are able to use it. But somehow now I feel the black race is winning that race now, as it is right now.
do you know the other day? I think the same week me and you were
Mm.
spoken. Um, I had a TikTok account. I just put Afro
Mm.
Asian open your eye. So couple minutes after, I receive a message that this name cannot be visible because of our guideline
It's crazy what they are doing
that's
on TikTok.
been
There, it's really
restricted.
crazy what TikTok is doing. It's really
So what is so want to be restricted? So just one nation that they say open their eye,
yeah. Okay,
so that name cannot be
you see
visible.
how I was suspended for TikTok for 3 days just because we are having a discussion about Malema. So TikTok is actually becoming a resist platform because it's just against black people in one way. White people would say all sort of racist nonsense, but when you respond to it, you get blocked from TikTok. TikTok is just
It's all the platforms actually. It's all of them. It's Instagram. All of them are what people could come and say anything in the comments that they're not sanctioned. But if I use the word China man, I'm sanctioned. I might comment will be taken down as offensive.
it's kind of crazy. It's
Yeah.
kind of
Um, to me, one thing as black nations that we need to start focus on is um, we need to work hard on the background and where we could okay, let's say for instance all of us know
yes.
chocolate, right? After you boil the chocolate really hot, it create a little cream on the top, so when you think it cold and then you just put it in your mouth, you just you mess up. So we need to have a strategy like that. People look on the top of us, they see us cold, and then they touch on the knee, we warm as
Mm.
hell. So as black people, we need to start develop certain strategies like that. We build ourselves silently. So now we strong in our mind, we strong our what we're doing. Um, let's say what actually, right? So these people ain't get no problem to convince any young teenager or any young man, young woman to do any type of things when they just give them a good offer, and everybody like believe on like they don't care how they succeed, they don't care how they make it in life, as long as somebody come towards their
Mhm.
way, they just grab it, but they don't think about nobody else. Okay, let's say Abraham is a very young man, and but he have a background, he have something deep inside of him that's saying that that's not normal, it shouldn't
Mm.
be like that. You don't think anybody will just come and say, you know what you're trying to do, we understand it is a good thing, but for political whatever, so we're gonna give you $30 billion and for you to just like move on with your life and forget about these people. And he would be like, oh wow, that's a good offer, and you move on. And what's going on in Burkina Faso,
Mhm.
right? So what's going on there? It won't be happen because he would be rich for himself, and the country suffer. So now that's the reason I say we need to move on silent, and we just build inside our inner self. We have a strategy that could just be like our youth would be okay. I have a different understanding base of what I used to hear, base I used to experience. And then now you would get a stronger military, you would get a stronger police, you would get stronger leadership because they won't be convinced by large amount of money for themselves while the majority is suffer. And that's how these people manipulate our black people the most. Once they give them couple of dollars, if they like weapon, they give them weapon, they give them this that, and then like they say okay, let's work for the boss, you know. So we have to get to those certain strategy that would be help our youth strong in their mind, strong in the mind. And for that to be happen, it have to be happen silently, because as long as they know, they would
Mhm.
destroy it.
Mhm.
They would.
Crazy. I think for me, I look at this from this perspective. I think African countries now, especially the youth, we should assemble more on online, educate ourselves, try to find expose countries like France for their evil. Understand me? That's what we should be doing now. Doing a lot of educating ourselves, exposing the evil that these countries like France is doing to African countries. Talk more about
Absolutely.
it, discuss it, expose it. teach more of of black people. And look at what is happening.
Absolutely.
You don't blame only your government, your president, or your leaders, but also the major problem is France. If we start putting all these things out and creating more awareness about this, putting more pressure on France, more black people will rise up, and then I think that's where the change starts from. What do you think? Just me.
The change has already started. The change has already started. I compared to 3 years ago, and
Mm,
me on social media, I people dancing, people doing a skit here or there, having a little laugh or something funny. What I'm seeing is a lot of people talking, a lot of dialogue among brothers and sisters. Black Americans, Black British, and I'm seeing a defiance that I've not seen before, and
mm.
like it's a bravery, like you know what, we've had enough. I was on it was Instagram yesterday, I think, or a TikTok, and I saw a young lady in front of a bus and stopped the bus from moving because apparently she wanted to get on the bus and the bus driver drove off. I mean, all of us who live in Europe, we've had that done to us.
No, we have,
We
we have experienced that when you are coming as a black person, the bus driver doesn't stop or he just moves away.
Yeah, and they wait till when you get to the bus and
Yes.
move off. We've all experienced it. So I have stopped running for buses because you know what? As soon as I get there, they're gonna just take off. And this young lady, apparently that happened to her. The young lady was in front of the bus, drinking her drink, and the bus could not move. And there's a sign on the top of the bus, "Call police." And I was so proud of her. I was so proud. I would not have seen that before years ago. I've not have seen that. No. So there's a unrest among our people, unsettling that is rumbling in our spirit.
I think I
And
think I think that unrest is spawned by awareness. People are getting aware.
yes, yes,
Staying more, people are getting more information. There are lots
yes,
of information. People are getting informed about the evil of these countries.
yes. And we are all going through the same experience. So when you were in Europe thinking, oh, I'm having a terrible time here. And I mean I'm right here thinking I'm having a terrible time here. And the South Africans are in South Africa, I'm having a terrible time here. Maybe talk. All of us, we're having a terrible time. So
Mhm.
what are we going to do about it?
And especially like what we're doing, what we've been doing on WhatsApp, whereby everybody comes and we have this discussion, and everybody like, whoa, 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 this
Yes,
is true, and this is educating.
yes, yes, yes. So that reach is impactful, and it is awakening the spirit. And I people call it all kind of things, but I call it racial rage. It's awakening this racial rage in all of us that is it's a powder keg about to go off. That's what I'm seeing. So there's a spark. There will be a spark that sets a chain reaction. It
Mhm.
will happen. That's how it always starts. It will happen. Something
Okay.
is going to happen.
Yeah, it's happening and it's going to happen. All right.
Yes.
Let me. We spent almost an hour and a half here already, and I think we're going to call it for a day. But before we go, I want to turn to Mark, and you just take one more minute to tell us what you wish for the black world in the nearest future. Mark, let me start with you.
Uh, that's a powerful question, you know. So the question is so large, it's so powerful, it's so strong. I don't even know where to start. But um, so I don't know if for our age, we would be able to experience it, to
I
see it
think we can. I
ourselves.
think we will. It's going to happen fast.
And we moving fast. Yeah. So, but my swear is to see we seriously and deeply free, because um, we are black people, and we're not fully free yet. So we free from the chain, we free from the beating, um, but we are not free in our mind completely. So I wish one day that all of us, especially for my Asian people, to be able one day anybody could stand in their face to say, I want you work for me, I want you do this for me. And then for that black person or that Asian, the African could just see like whatever you're saying, let me see my country first. Let me see my land first. If it's profitable for me in my land, let's see what we could consider on what you're saying. But if it's profitable for myself, not for my land, get away from it. So that's what my hope for every black people, that not see ourselves, not see our family, but see our land, our country. And then once we free in global, wow, nobody in the world, no other country that call themselves big country would stand in front of us, because naturally we are strong, naturally we are powerful. But the only thing, we let them use our mind, we let them use our brain. The day we overcome these things, we would be like, wow. That's what I've seen.
All right. Let me hear from just me. Let's hear from you. What's your wish for Africa in the shortest time?
Okay. Let me paint
Black
you a
or not just
picture.
Africa, to the black race as a whole.
Yes. Let me paint you a picture.
Okay. Let me
I
let's have
see.
it.
Yes, I see in the future, in the not too distant future. I see a transformation of the continent. I see a very futuristic technology in place. I see things that will boggle the mind because our people have been super innovative and taken technology to the next level. I see our people living to their fullest potential, prospering and wealthy, and our people happy and free and in a kind of a futuristic place where it is so beautiful and it's so well developed. It is so green, and we have incorporated a lot of our natural um, topography along with some futuristic buildings that look like it blends with the land, and it is in keeping and flow with nature. I see beauty. I see people happy, thriving, healthy. I see future innovations in healthcare, in building projects, in agriculture. When I look out the window of this beautiful building that I am inhabiting, that has flowers and greenery all around me, and the air is clean and fresh, and a, a waterfall going right through the land, and the water is clean and unpolluted. And further out, I see a port with beautiful ships that are so futuristic that they may be hovering over the water and not touching the water. And I can, the air is so crisp and clean that the flowers are very bright and beautiful. The land is has transformed, and Mother Nature is happy. Mother Africa is happy, and everyone is thriving and happy and healthy. And there are hardly any people who look sick, who are walking with canes and different things. We have our children running around playing, and they're the younger ones taking the older ones taking care of the younger ones, and the elders sitting down teaching. I see the future of Africa as something kind of out of this world. And I honestly, I'm a little bit biased. I see no white people.
All right. Thank you very much. What I'm going to say is a continuation of what you said. Our
Mhm,
our past is their future.
mhm,
I want you to mark that our past is their future. They
mhm.
just discover now that mud houses is the future, and they gave an award to a white
Yeah, I
man
saw that.
to
Mhm.
build
Yeah,
the mud house.
yeah, I saw that.
There are a lot of technology in Africa they don't understand till today. They don't understand the pyramids and lots of technology in Africa. A lot of wonders in Africa they don't understand, and those are
Yes,
kept. So I see and I believe I see black people the whole black world reconnecting back to their ancestral technology and reinventing
Yes.
and creating technologies that are eco-friendly. Because what we have
Yes.
seen so far from the West is technology that is destructive and not eco-friendly. I
Yes.
see us taking control, and not in the far future, but now that we're going to take control of our own destiny and build
Hmm.
a life that is suited for Black people
Yes.
because we live in another world. So with that, I want to say thank you. What is going to happen tomorrow? I'm going to leave a message in the Telegram group because I think I'm seeing that maybe this is too late because we don't see lots of our people here, but maybe in
Yes,
the
I said same thing. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm going to look at the time. I'm going to start the time. Then I'll leave a message in the Telegram group and say maybe we'll do it between 3-4 o'clock. I don't know yet, but I'll determine the time tomorrow because I want to check. I'll look everything and consider. So we'll do it
Yeah.
at time.
Yeah, I
But
can
I believe
attend because it's after minutes of 5 here, so I can attend, but it wouldn't be late for me. You see.
okay, okay, because our suspension on TikTok is ending tomorrow. So
Mm-hmm.
if I can come up tomorrow, if I can go live tomorrow, then I'll go live now. So I think on Sunday we'll be fully back on live. But then
Okay, great.
even when we're back on TikTok, I want to be doing this two time I want to be doing this within the breaks. I'll find a time that we'll do this YouTube because here we can talk freely,
Yes.
obstruction. So we'll be doing like an hour of YouTube and then do the others on TikTok. So I want to say thank you
Okay.
to the both of you,
You're
Mark.
so welcome.
Mark, just me and the Rising Star, and those watching from us. I want to say thank you. Please go and check Afrobeat's journey on all and online platform and leave us a message. You can be a part of our Instagram, Telegram group, whereby we share information. There are lots of information going on in that Instagram group. You'll love it. And also check our TikTok group. And also go and check some of our podcasts on Spotify and also try to support us there. I want to say thank you to all of you. You have made the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.